Man, what a fun game that was. Yeah, man, that was such a fun game. But at this point, like Chicago hockey, we're dominating the Dallas Stars this year. I'm just glad that we're going to ignore the fact that we almost threw the game at the end there.
Let's go Hawks, baby!
Blackhawks haven't been a good state for a while. And to that I say, yeah, a lot of their games this season were a hard match. Pieces are there. Blackhawks fans, stay still, be patient, and everything will work out in the end.
Welcome to Blackhawks Central.
Well, what a game that was. Get right into the review here. Nice Blackhawks win for the game. Blackhawks win 4-3 over the Dallas Stars for the second time. This season, not this year. Happy New Year, everyone. 2026, new year, new Hawks. I know we were saying this last year when we started the year off by beating Montreal 4-2, but Hawks coming off of the new year obviously didn't drink too much last night because obviously they actually showed up for a game for once. These Hawks actually did not get scored on in the first 5 minutes of the period, which is a good thing to see. Definitely built upon what has been a struggle for these Hawks these past few games. So that's nice to see. The second part of that being was, as I mentioned in my last video, I thought we were going to get spanked by Dallas. Because the last time we came back against a team and then played them within a week was against Anaheim, where they went up 3-0. We came back to win that game 5-3, and then in the infamous 6-7 weekend, we ended up losing 7-1 to them. Well, oh boy, was I wrong. These Hawks came out flying tonight. Leading the charge was Artie Levshinov, another Artie Party candidate, as he opens the scoring in this game. 11 minutes in on the power play. Hawks got mega power plays today. Uh, yeah, I'll be so honest. Stars versus refs this game. We had 4 power plays to their 1. Obviously, I think the Hawks played clean game. Always be biased in saying that, but yeah, just not unlucky for Dallas, just taking so many penalties, and for a tough power play that we've had since Bedard's been gone. Uh, the Hawks actually get on top of it today, and we get we get some good power play goals going. Started off by Artie Levshinov. Artie, masterclass. He just keeps getting better. Uh, he's improving every single game this season. It's been very obvious in the last few games, but his confidence is there finally, and he's starting to work with it. I said about that New York game that he's one of the most cursed players. Well, he did not hit a post today, and he hits the back of the net after just a scramble play in front. Ottinger's not set. Just sees a complete netting on the right side. Honestly, he looked a little shocked because he definitely used a lot of his patience there, and he gets a nice shot off after the big scramble, and it goes into the back of the net. Artie Levshinov gets his second of the season, and still putting in a bid for Calder. If he starts lighting it up like he has these past few games, and he keeps this confidence going, and he keeps getting better, I have no doubt that he'll catch Matthew Schaefer in these next few games. And then the rest of the season, obviously Demidov's putting his hat in the ring as well. But this is going to be a nice race for all 3 of these guys, especially with the Demidov and Levshinov comparisons. Obviously, it's never going to be 1-to-1, but people are going to do it. But Levshinov gets his power play goal, but as many Hawks leads do, they don't last long. Mikko Rantanen, it was a bit of a yikes pinch by Krebs, but I don't hate it. Dickinson definitely needs to be stronger on his stick. Dickinson had an all right game, I would say, not the greatest. It's just been Dickinson. You know, I'll defend the guy because he's a Chicago Blackhawk, but he's just not good enough for the NHL. I think he's not strong on his stick. He doesn't. A lot of his habits aren't there, so he needs to get better. Definitely not deserving of the contract Chicago gave him a couple years back. Just doesn't do it for me, uh, genuinely. And he's very injury prone. Like I, as soon as he took that shot off in the first period and off the ankle, and he hobbled off the ice, I was like, man, if he's out and he's uh, disabling us and putting us down to back to 11 forwards. Like I guess we've played like that more this season, but just if you're gonna be that injury prone, I think they should question about giving him ice time like that. Like I get he's really a good defensive player, and just there's so many things I want to say about him, but it's just not good enough. And yeah, he gets his stick lifted by Rantanen. I don't hate Glass not closing down Rantanen, but it's Mikko Rantanen, man. 1-on-1 with Spencer Knight, he's scoring 9 out of 10 times. The only time he doesn't score those is if he that. But yeah, Mikko Rantanen ties the game up, and then the Hawks. We've been criticized for having such bad second periods, but everyone in that second period show heart, led by Teuvo Teravainen. After we get a another power play that just a we got another for cross checking. It was just to end the period. We got it. We had another delayed penalty call right at the end there. Teravainen. Uh, yeah, get nice dump in. Bertuzzi wins the board battle, and Teravainen buries it because he's all by himself out front. Like I know, like my friend, he criticizes this about Dallas' defense, but uh, where did the defense go? Like no one's in the slot. Like all those white jerseys you see in the corner, not a single one of them should have been on Teravainen in front. So Teravainen all by himself buries it against Ottinger, and it's a 2-1 hockey game for the Hawks. And Teravainen, I criticized him last episode. He just hasn't. He's been had a very lackluster December where he's not gone any point. He got 1 point, and it was a goal in the last game of the year, last game of the month. So he's finally back. It feels like he scored 2 goals in 2 games. Another power play goal. Yeah, a power play goal for Teravainen. Um, Gets on the board tonight. Puts the Hawks up 2-1, and just solid. It looks like he's back. I hope he can continue this momentum going forward. And then Mr. Ilya Mikheyev, the new dad. He's got that new dad strength. Later into the period, he makes a really good play as the puck doesn't get cleared, gets right back, and he makes a good one-on-one play, gets in front of the defender, and just strengths his way to the net, puts it top left on Ottinger, and oh boy, Ilya Mikheyev, just decks it, scores it, makes it 3-1 Hawks. Just a honest to God, great goal there. And yeah, Ilya Mikheyev had a really good game. I'll touch on his second goal a little later, but just that was a good solo play there by him. And what I've seen, Ilya Silky Mikheyev, there's a reason I love his play so much, but he just hasn't shown it this year, and it just hasn't been there. Tonight was what I've seen from him, and why I like his play so much. And he's such a good penalty killer and all that. Like, there's so many things to like about his play, just he hasn't shown it this year, and all of a sudden he came out and showed what I've always seen in him since last year even. So it's really nice to see Mikheyev get net at least one, but he also gets a second a little later, which I'll touch on in a moment. After we talk about what happened after his first goal, which was Miro Heiskanen, we never got to see a replay, but apparently he smashed his stick against the little curved board that's near where like Panger normally sits, like in between the benches, and he breaks the glass. And why I say Panger usually sits there, the Make a Wish kids who were there to hype up the Hawks, and like they were there for morning skate. They read out the starting lineup with with Dono, Dicky, and Mickey, and of course Spencer, Meganite, Lass, and Krebs, of course. But they were there, and they got the because Panger is going on. He's just on a little break because he's doing the Winter Classic tomorrow in Miami. So instead of having someone else sit there do commentary, they had the Make a Wish kids have the best seats in the house, genuinely, ringside, but slowly, surely, but turned into not the greatest seats in the house. As Miro Heiskanen smashed his stick and breaks a glass right in front of them. Just not something you see every day. Like this is certainly a new one, and obviously the rest are like, you can't do that. So they send him to the box for a 2 minutes unsportsmanlike. So Hawks go back to the power play, don't quite convert on that one, but it's just nice to see get a few power play opportunities. And finally, it worked tonight, 50%. Because yeah, the fourth one they slowly later in the period they try dumping it, goes over the glass, delay a game. I mean that one's pretty cut and dry, to be fair there. But a little later into the period, Ilya Mikheyev just on a rush chance. Just he puts a shot on. I don't know if it drops through Ottinger's shoulder or if it drops to the pads, 5-hole, something, but it just dribbles past him, and that's a rare Ottinger mistake. As Mikheyev gets his second of the game, which is sick for Ilya Mikheyev. This guy, like I've already talked about him in length, but just to get two in this game is really good to see his play, and obviously he's showing people what he can do. So just hopefully he can build on this more these next few games and just start building a nice little streak going forward. He gets his seventh and eighth goal of the year, so yeah, hopefully you can just build on it. And then yeah, and that was at the start of the third period. So obviously it's now 4-1 Hawks, and this game it already seems like it's wraps. It's Hawks are still pressing for another one, and nothing really happens for the rest of that period. Hawks do take a whack call. Crevier, Rantanen dumps it in. Crevier's already stepping up to him. Big hit by a big man, making Rantanen, who by no means is a small guy. Rantanen's also a big guy. There's a reason they call him Moose. But Rantanen just, after he dumps it in, runs him over. Like big guy making a big man look like a little guy. So and then he gets called for interference. Like I mean, I guess it was a little late after the dump in, but questionable call there by the refs. And I think it was more of a the Hawks haven't had a penalty, arm up. Just kind of one of those things, but Hawks we kill it off, which is nice. And then a lot of nothing just happens until the end of the match where Jason Robertson nets one, and a little later, after they with 4 minutes left, they emptied the net. Duchesne gets one with about just a minute and a bit left, or just under a minute left, actually. Sorry, and all of a sudden it's 4-3, like 16 or like 40 seconds left in the game, and all of a sudden it's a scary situation for the Hawks, who don't want to throw this lead away, but they're able to hold them off. We win 4-3 in Chicago, which is nice to see. Also in front of the Make-A-Wish kids. Obviously, they fired the Hawks up to want to win tonight. So good vibes all around, I feel. And just a nice way to start off the new year, especially especially going into a month, January, where I feel like January was just a rough year, a rough month last year. So to start off this way is a really good, nice shot in the arm, get it going. So second time we've beaten Dallas this year after losing the season series 3-1 last year. We are now up 2-0 against Dallas, and we only played them 3 times this year. So technically we won our season series. Hopefully next time we play them we can sweep them, which would be just a nice little funny just side note about this season. And now the past 4 games we've now have 5 of a total of what 8 points. So nice. We're getting points out of these games, and we're slowly to building our way out of the bottom. Winnipeg's just in the basement; they're not having a good time, and now the team ahead of them, Vancouver, and now we're slowly getting closer. We're only 4 points out of the wild card right now, which is nice. I think a few of the teams in there have games in hands on us now. But it's nice to see that we're now, if we do get Bedard back, if he makes a difference, we can make one of these uh, St. Louis 2019 runs slowly but surely. So obviously that's something, just a nice little side tangent to touch on there. Um, but yeah, we're looking pretty solid. Next few games, we got Washington on Saturday here, which will be make it or lose a game. I feel you want to win that game. I think 2 points on Bedard. Bedard should be getting reevaluated to see if he's ready to play. It was nice to see he was on ice with the Make a Wish kids in the morning C8 this morning, which is nice to see that he was obviously only in a tracksuit, so not the greatest of signs, but it's good that he's on ice again. Recent news came out that Nazar's back to eating solid foods by himself, so obviously confirms that it was a broken jaw or something like that. But it's just nice. That's good news to hear. And then the second point of Bedard, Olympic snub. Uh, hate that. I feel there's many points I can make in this situation, but for a player that was one of the top 4 players in points going in before his injury, and now and the fact that they said the injury played no part, the fact that they hinted that was one of the points, was that the injury didn't matter, that he was always on the outside looking in, and that their decision had nothing to do with the injury. It's just not what you want to see. Um, I know you can't take all scoring guys, and that's kind of what Bedard is, but I think a lot of people underrate his two-way game. It's not obviously it's not as good as some of the other players on the ice, but taking Anthony Cirelli because he's a good penalty killer, and taking uh like Brandon Hagel over Bedard, or taking Tom Wilson, and I can rattle off a few more, but it's just taking specifically Anthony Cirelli is like taking Ilya Mikheyev over like a Nikita Kucherov or somebody. Because I mean, Nikita Kucherov's not good. Like, sorry, let me rephrase that. It's like taking Ilya Mikheyev over a Kirill Kaprizov. Like, no, or or Ivan Demidov. I know a lot of Montreal fans are gonna hop on that, but like that's the type of comparison that this is pretty much. And then there's a lot of other snubs that I could talk about, but this is Blackhawks talk. You don't really want to hear about the other ones. So, yeah. Well, just Bedard, I feel, should have made Team Canada. There's a lot of players you could say that should be off that team, and I just feel Bedard fills a good role there. But Bo Horvat got injured, so obviously Canada still can take another player. That be Shifley, Bennett, Bedard, etc. So to be seen there if Horvat even is, because he's injured now. We'll see if how serious it is. So yeah, nice just a little Olympic talk at the end there, but we'll end it off there. Like, comment, subscribe. If you really liked it, share with all your friends. Thank you for watching. Hopefully these Hawks can continue another, like, just put it together, string together some wins just at this point. That would be ideal, especially just while we're still waiting on the return of Bedard here. So once Bedard returns, we're gonna go on some Olympic snub insanity run, I feel. So we'll just end off there. Thank you, Blackhawkers. See you next time.